welcome to Movie Review Mom. Today the movie I'm reviewing is Wonder Park. The movie is rated PG. It's an hour and 25 minutes, and the grade I gave it is a C. I'm kind of sad when I have to give movies such bad ratings. But first, in a quick nutshell, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I rolled my eyes and really did not want to see it. It looked super lame and even offensive in parts. So wonder or blunder? Well, I finally saw it. It's very creative and very colorful, but kind of an annoying mess. Annoying was sort of the key word there. I couldn't wait for it to end. And I feel bad. Maybe I was tired or something. I don't know. But the original director was fired towards the end of making this movie, which kind of explains a lot. It's just kind of a mess. And I get what the film was trying to do. It just didn't do it very well. So here are a few quick tips for parents. First of all, it's wonderful to see the mom play with her daughter and encourage her creativity. The mother and daughter have a very sweet relationship. And so I love that part of it, and hopefully parents will be inspired by that. A kid mentions he can't start his day without drinking coffee, and I'm like, seriously, this is a kid's movie. Kids should not be drinking coffee, and that just bothered me. Maybe it won't bother you, but it bothered me. I mean, they're like 8 years old or something. The main character is a girl named June, and she does some really dangerous things at the beginning of the movie that causes destruction to her neighbor's property. But another thing that bothered me was that she doesn't really get punished by her parents at all. They're just like, well, you're just so creative, so just rein it in a little bit. But there's no mention of her, paying for the damage or being grounded or anything really. And I thought that was a missed opportunity to teach kids you can't destroy your neighbor's property, and not even just one neighbor. I mean, it was like many blocks of homes and streets and fences and stuff, plus physical peril to her body. And she had a friend with her, and they're crashing through things, and they both could have gotten really hurt. So I would have liked a little bit more attention spent on the discipline and the consequences of her decisions. Yes, she's very creative, but you don't have to destroy things to be creative. Another heads up for parents is that the characters use a lot of big words, especially in the beginning for some reason. And these are words that young children won't understand. They probably won't even hear the words or pay any attention to it, but just kind of a heads up. And if you hear a word or two, then that gives you an opportunity to teach your kids the words. But it might prevent some of them from understanding certain things. There's no profanity, which is awesome, although there are made up words to sound like characters are swearing. Not cool. There's some name calling. And big heads up is that the film addresses the painful subject of having a very sick parent and the uncertainty of the outcome and the effect that can have on a child, because June's mom gets sick. And so she kind of is under a little cloud the entire movie. Not that that's bad. I mean, that's reality. And it kind of felt like this movie was trying to create that sense of depth that movie Inside, what was it called? Inside Out had. I mean, people were blown away by how deep that was. And it was handled so well. And I liked that you don't have to always be happy, because sometimes life makes you not be happy. I mean, life is full of challenges. On the other hand, I don't want to give it away, but things are tied up in a nice, happy bow at the end, and that's not as realistic either. But anyway, some positive themes that are worth mentioning are certainly creativity and imagination, which are emphasized and encouraged in the movie. I really love Jennifer Garner. She plays the mom, and she's very sweet and encouraging, and she says, "You keep that little light inside you shining bright." And I love that, and I wish all parents would share that message with their kids. She also tells her daughter, "You are the wonder." And I love that too, because so often all kids hear their parents say is, "No, no," or "Stop that." It's sort of a negative conversation, if it's even a conversation, or do your homework or do your chores. And so I love that the mom really took time to develop this sweet relationship with her daughter. There's another theme of fighting against the darkness, and that darkness being loneliness and sadness. But to also, allow it that it's normal and natural and real. Also to don't be so afraid of something that you lose yourself, because June is very sad and she loses herself and she learns to not do that. So that's a good lesson. And then also June says, she's voiced by Sophia Mali, by the way. She says, maybe the darkness will always be there. Look at the light that surrounds us. And I love that idea, because there is darkness. There are sad things and challenges and frustrations. Life is not easy for anybody. And that's okay, but to focus on the positive. And I thought that was a great, strong message. The cast is really delightful. It has, as I mentioned, Jennifer Garner, Sophia Mali, Matthew Broderick, love him, John Oliver, Mila Kunis, Kenan Thompson, Tom Baker, Ken Hudson Campbell, and Ken Jeong. Those are all great voice artists. Of course, they're great actors as well. Anyway, so it's just fun hearing their voices. There's a lot of whimsical fun in the movie. And then there's some running gags that are just funny. One that made me laugh out loud, unfortunately, was like the only thing that made me laugh out loud, was when Boomer the bear, he's running for his life because all this chaos is happening behind him. He's running and then he instantly falls asleep in hibernation after yelling, "Save yourself!" And he does that a lot in the movie. The first time was funny, and then he does it a million times after that. I love the little creature named Cooper, because my oldest son's name is Cooper. And if your kids like roller coasters, they'll actually enjoy the film, because there's a lot of them. It takes place at Wonder Park. Actually, I take that back. It takes place at Wonderland. They never call the park Wonder Park. So why don't they call the movie Wonderland? I didn't understand that. Anyway, there are a few very, very brief musical moments, and maybe it would have been cuter if there were more. I don't know. But some of the things that I didn't like is that the sickness and sadness of the mom have about a 5-second montage. Kind of like in the movie Up, where the wife gets sick and dies, except that lasted a little bit longer, and so children were able to follow and understand what happened. This one's like 5 seconds, seriously, maybe 10 at the most. And if you blink, you're going to miss it, and you're going to wonder, wait, what happened? She just sort of gets sick and leaves, and then appears at the very end of the movie. So I'm sure they didn't want to dwell on it because it's a kid's movie. But if your kids, if you've got a little kid and they're wiggling around in their seat at the theater or on the couch, if you're watching it at home, they're going to miss it, and then things won't necessarily make as much sense. Not that very many things made sense, actually. One of the creatures says, "What the junk?" as if that's supposed to be funny. And I just was like, come on, people, if you're going to make a kid's movie, don't encourage our kids to imitate bad behavior or even language. I don't think that's funny. Little kids are going to start imitating that. Another creature says, "Such a woman, those come hither tusks." Little kids won't necessarily understand that. You definitely get that he's interested in this female creature. But again, it kind of sexualized these little creatures, these little cartoon characters. And I was just like, there's got to be another way to handle that. So there's that. And then, this is probably silly, but I don't like that the villains were these cute little monkeys. I mean, the good thing is that they're not scary villains. The bad thing is that they're cute monkeys, and I love monkeys. And I don't know, your kids are going to want to buy them as merchandise from this movie, but they are bad monkeys. And so there's just sort of this weird message that it sends. I don't know. I mentioned that the protagonist, she kind of wallows in grief. She snaps out of it, and then she'll go back into it, and it's in and out, and maybe that's more realistic than kids even realize. But the characters are kind of one-dimensional. There are these beavers that are constantly smacking each other. I hate physical smacking as if that's supposed to be funny. I don't like that at all. I hate the Three Stooges because they're always smacking each other. I don't think that's funny. That's just me, I guess. And then, like I said, it just seemed like an unsuccessful attempt at imitating the very successful movie Inside Out. That's my 2 cents. For what it's worth, it's worth 2 cents. It's not even worth that, because you're watching this for free. And thank you for watching my movie reviews. I hope that they're helpful. The idea is to help you make the best decision for which movies are best to watch for your own family. Please leave your comments below and tell me what you thought of this movie. If you liked it, if your kids liked it, and ultimately, if your kids like it, it's probably fine. There's nothing super objectionable. It just wasn't as good as I had hoped it would be. Anyway, have a great time at the movies, and I'll see you again later. Bye for now.